All right, and we're recording. Hi, guys. This is Terry Luongo, National Marketing Director with Juice Plus, 100 Club member, and welcome to the Team Up Monday Night Call. And tonight is a very, very special call because tonight we're going to be talking about something called the cash flow quadrant. It's something I was introduced to about, 15, 16 years ago. And it really got me so excited about our business model and the possibility of our business model. So tonight we've invited National Marketing Director Henry Hagemann to talk about this cash flow quadrant, the difference between linear income versus leveraged and residual income, which is so exciting. So let me tell you a little bit about Henry. Henry and his wife, Jen, are both National Marketing Directors with the Juice Plus Company. They started their virtual franchise back in August of 1991, okay? And they joined just to create, a little extra supplemental income, but quickly started to understand the potential of building within this model a network marketing business and what that could hold for them. And what this has done for them is given them incredible time freedom. They've been able to be stay-at-home parents. They spend half the year on their sailboat, which is an incredible story, okay? They live in Connecticut, they live in Florida, they're all over the place. But I gotta tell you something right now. Henry Hagemann understands linear income versus residual income. I can't think of a better person to share with us why our business model is so powerful, why this is so timely. And last week, Henry's obviously married to Jen, father of two, but as of last week, grandfather for the first time. Beautiful new baby. Congratulations, Henry.
Thank you very much.
Henry Hagemann, take it away, Henry.
All right, great. Well, thank you, Terry, very much. If you hear a little sound in the background, it will be my grandson, but everybody will be better off for hearing that sound. So that's the little gift that may come along here. We are down in Miami Beach, or actually down in Miami with our daughter, Kate, and she had her first child 5 days ago. So we've all had some sleepless nights in the meantime, but I can't tell you how excited I am to be here tonight to share this information on the cash flow quadrant. It is so timely, and I think it's so important that everybody understands and just gets a little perspective on this, because we have a situation going on in the world today that I don't think, we all hear about how divisive everything is and how split apart we are. And I would challenge you to ask yourself if this isn't true. I think you or anybody on this call tonight could go out and ask 10 out of 10 people on the street 2 questions, and they would get a universal yes. And question number 1 is, are you interested in getting healthier? And that question, almost 10 out of 10 people are going to say yes, absolutely. They may not be ready to whip out their credit card and buy Juice Plus, but they are interested in getting healthier. And so that's one element here. And then the second element is, and it took me a little while to sort of come to be able to articulate it, because we've talked about, in this business, we talk about making part-time magic, part-time income to full-time income, working part-time. And all of that's great. But I think if you went out and asked 10 out of 10 people on the street this one question, would you like to have more financial peace? Whether they're making $100 million a year and the market just tanked today, big time. So people lost a lot of money. And I bet you people making $100 million a year would like more financial peace. And I think people who are struggling to make ends meet and living paycheck to paycheck would have the same answer. Yes, they would. And so those are 2 questions that we can answer for people. And we do it with the virtual franchise, and we do it with Juice Plus. Let me see. I can share this brilliantly, I think, but let me see whether I can screen share this brilliantly. And I think I can. There we go. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. That here is a quadrant, a cash flow quadrant that was really sort of articulated by Robert Kiyosaki probably 15, 20 years ago. He was the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's probably the book that he's best known for. But he also wrote a book called The Cash Flow Quadrant. And he is very much of an entrepreneur mindset. And he always was wondering how and why he was so different and why there were just different mindsets out there. And he came up with the concept that there are 4 quadrants, but it's basically divided right down the middle with a big caveat. One side of the equation, the people are basically doing a very different set of activities than they are on the other side. And let's start with the employee, the upper left quadrant here. This is where most people in America are. And most people and it's not a bad place to be. You know, since 1900, basically our public school system was developed in order to teach people to be good employees because we had the industrial age, we had big corporations, everybody was encouraged to go out and get a great job with a great company, you know, get yourself educated, get a degree, and then go give 40 years of your life to a big company. They'll take care of you, and then you get the choice of, you know, or not the choice of retiring on maybe 40% of what you made and you struggle to live on during those 40 years for your retirement. But even that caveat has changed, because it used to be that we had defined benefits, you know, so that if you gave 40 years to IBM said, okay, you're going to get X amount of money every month for the rest of your life. That went away when the 401k concept came along and people had to save their own money. And it was, most people haven't, because most people aren't disciplined around money. And so they struggle with getting by with what they make. And if they have a 50% increase, that 50% increase is spent by either putting in a new swimming pool or fixing things that have gone into disrepair. And it just doesn't stay around. And so basically an employee has no leverage, and it's basically a place where you're in a place where you don't control your time. You are trading time for dollars. You say, I'll go to work for you, and, you know, McDonald's or, you know, any corporation, you give them so many hours, they give you so much money. And if you keep doing that, they keep paying. And if you get sick or you choose not to work for a week or maybe a vacation or whatever, chances are, unless you have a paid vacation, you don't get paid. And so time is dollars. You know, that's where most people are. And the number one reason people want to stay there is for security. It seems like it's a very secure place. You know, if I do this, they'll do that. And I have my benefits, or I have, you know, some way of paying for my health benefits. And they're comfortable. You talk about a place that people get stuck in this mindset. And some people can live a very happy life there. It's not where I saw myself. I wanted to be self-employed. And I dropped out of college. I went sailing. I started a marine business. I loved what I did. I only could work so many hours. I was my own boss, but it sort of turned on me, and I found myself getting more and more into debt. We had 2 children. We had a nice little house, and all of that required money. And the expenses were going up, and my income wasn't, because I could only work so many hours. And the whole mindset with being self-employed, and Robert Kiyosaki really talks about it, is the nobody does it better syndrome, because you don't want to hire anybody because they couldn't possibly, you know, paint the board as well as you do, or, you know, do whatever the task is. And so you stick it out and you put out fires and you do all of this stuff. And basically, instead of, you know, making a job for you, you've basically created a job that owns you. and you have no leverage. You have your time is even crazier than it was as an employee, because my brother-in-law has a business where he services tanks, fish tanks and ponds, and puts things together for people, and it's constant. People have leaks, people have dead fish, people have problems, and Saturday night, Sunday morning, it doesn't matter. It's just you're on all the time. So it seems like a better place to be, and it is, as Robert Kiyosaki talks about it, has a little more dignity in the sense that you're sort of defining your destiny, but in that you have a little more control over, when you do things and whether you show up that day or not. But it's not a business, and what the goal is for people, and for people like Branson, and who started Virgin Airways, all these people started businesses that paid them money, and they could go and sit on a beach in Fiji and have their bank accounts continue to grow. And the downside of a business, the franchises are very, very popular. You can buy a McDonald's franchise for over $1 million, and in about 5 years, you'll get a positive return on your investment. And then you realize that, the only way to really get rich is to probably have 5 of them. And then it's just, it's more cash outlay, but it's a system, and the system generates the money. And can't emphasize that enough. You've got to have a business system, and usually it requires millions of dollars in order to create. And here we have, just by chance, a business that has a drop dead system, and you can get it for $50, and you can become a customer, and you can become somebody who advocates Juice Plus to friends and family, and you can invite people to come and take a look at a business where they can generate walk-away income and develop leverage on their time. And this is where we saw this when we first were introduced to the business, that if we went to work, and there's no shortcut to that, you got to work, you've got to go out and talk to people, there's no free lunch, but it is a business that, with very little effort, relatively speaking, and virtually no capital, you can create a business that generates whatever kind of income you want. And again, when you think of it in terms of financial peace, it doesn't have to be, the income of our superstar Jeff Roberta. You don't have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars in income every month. I mean, it might be great. I think nobody would say no to it. But I think what's more important is if the car fell on hard times, the transmission fell apart, or, you needed a new muffler system, or the baby got sick. You want to be able to deal with those things without fear. That's what resonates with people, I believe. And I think that all of you would agree. And if we start our conversations around having something that can free people and can very quickly provide, doesn't take too many customers coming in with good money skills to put money to a place where you can have the car fixed if you need it. You can, take care of the baby. You can fix the leak in the roof. You can do what you need to do, and you don't need to panic and wonder, gosh, that sounds like the transmission's going, I hope I can get through till next month, and, I don't know how I'll pull it off. But there's just so much fear out there, and it's unnecessary, because we have this system. And because we have a business that throws off cash, we can throw off that cash to, first of all, pay off our credit cards, pay down our debt, so that instead of having leverage be used against us, or compound interest, which, people have said is one of the most powerful things in the world, if that's going against you, where you're paying off a credit card, or you're paying the minimum every month on a credit card, it's somebody else is getting rich off your efforts. And oh, here comes baby. We may hear him yet. But the situation is, if you will take that money and instead of, once you get your cards taken care of and those immediate things that have been draining on you, if you start putting wealth towards a savings, towards a college fund, towards an investment program, a freedom account, you can create even more leverage. Is that money will start to work for you. And it's just, if you'll take a percentage every month off your business and put it into a freedom account. This is what Jim Rohn talked about so long and so many ways. He talked about, basically working harder on yourself than you did on a job, and basically taking that money and putting it into things that will start to build freedom for you, and working. He said he always said, I would work full-time on my job to pay the bills and part-time on my future or my fortune to build my legacy. He just was, it's just a complete package that we have with this business, but you have to see it. And I think if you just bog down on, this is like getting a job at McDonald's. If I go out and I sell a couple of twin packs, or I get a trio, or maybe even a quad, that's like 3 or 4 days of work. But the thing that's different about it is, if you take care of that customer, that quad is going to be coming back every month. They're going to be paying some money, and every month you're going to be getting some residual income off that one sale. And that's so powerful. Branson had to start an airline in order to, buy the planes and the computer systems and the pilots and the whole thing in order to get his business going. And all that's great, but we can create the same kind of leverage that he has with our business model. And I just can't say enough about how this can work, because people don't see this business as leveraging, as giving them leverage on their time. It's buying your time. I mean, we created Financial Peace, and we've been able to move on a sailboat. We took 2 years and basically rebuilt the boat in Maine, sold our house in Florida. We rented a house, built up a shed, redid the boat. Not everybody's dream, but we had the time freedom to do that because we had the residual income coming off of our customer base that we built years and years before. And so I just hope that you will all read the book. If you've printed out the sheet, look at it and understand that basically this vertical line in the middle is the difference between having somebody else control your financial future and you controlling your financial future and your time freedom, which for me, being able to be here with my grandson is just priceless. If I had to be showing up at a job in Boston or Connecticut, it would be such a tragic loss.
Yeah.
And that is the crown jewel of this business. So I hope that conveys some concept here of what we have here. And Terry, I don't know what you want to add, but
yeah, Henry, you're so magnificent at explaining this. And when I saw this, like you, 15, 16, 17 years ago, I said, I'm crossing over to the right-hand side.
Yeah.
$50 buys you into an existing business system that does all the work for us. Think about it. Okay? The company grows the produce, juices it, encapsulates it, all right? Delivers it to our customers. They set up the system so that we never touch product and we never touch money. All right, all these things, the company they've paid for this. They've set it up for us. We buy into this system for $50, guys.
Unbelievable.
It's so powerful. And I have to tell you, in the 25 years I have been with this company, not once have they ever missed payroll.
Yeah.
Not once did they never not show up with our bonuses and our incentives. And this costs us $50 a year to buy into this system. And then, like Henry said, we can start becoming that I piece of the quadrant, and we can pay down debt, and we can start becoming investors. So powerful. Henry and I are paid today on customers that we put into the system 25 years ago. Drop the mic. All right, guys, this is what I want. We've got about 5 minutes. Does anybody want to unmute themselves and maybe ask a question of Henry? Because we got 5 minutes. Any questions out there?
Hello?
Go ahead.
Henry, could you just move that up a little bit? I can't, on my screen, I can't see below the bottom red time thing.
No, I think I'm going to augment it.
Okay.
No, I'll have to send you. I can send it to you, Chris.
Okay, that would be great. It's Dave. Chris is off with music.
Yeah.
Guys,
She's
here's the
off
book.
playing music. Yeah, there's the book. Yeah, I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you, Dave.
Thank you, Henry.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad's Robert Kiyosaki. It's so well worth your read so that you will understand what we have. Listen, today people out there are so distracted. You know, we've got all sorts of people that come to this business. We've got moms, we've got personal trainers, we've got dentists, we've got all sorts of people. It's easy to become distracted. I'm going to tell you right now, do not ignore or take for granted what you have sitting right here. The best use of your time, your energy, and your focus is in this business, this B, your Juice Plus business, as being part of this quadrant.
And Terry, I just had a thought today as I was thinking about this. You know, we are so divided as a country. You know, politically, we've got, you know, obviously you have to live under a rock to know that there are converging thoughts out there on how we should go. And how extraordinary it is that there really are these two questions that you can ask anybody, and everybody wants what we have. We have the best nutritional, program in the world today, which is backed by the most research. And we have a business that not only, we didn't mention the benefit package, you know, the health, life, disability, long-term care, chiropractic, you know, having a little bid money every month, a little business incentive money, which comes to help us build our business, is extraordinary. You can't work for IBM, or if IBM were still the big blue that it was back when it was big blue, they didn't have a benefits package like that.
No.
And we've got it, and you can do it anywhere. You can do it in South Florida or in the, you know, up in, you know, Colorado or wherever you happen to be, and build a worldwide business, because everybody out there is a prospect.
Yeah. Everybody needs, those are the two things everybody agrees upon. I want better health. I want financial peace. And if people were honest, I'd like a piece of wealth. Everybody wants to be significant. Nobody wants to be insignificant. That's the end of the day. And we have something for everybody. All right, guys. Anybody have a question before we say goodnight? I'm seeing the chat line. Jamie Cantrell says, Henry, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
All right. Hey, guys, next Monday night, our Valentine's call. I've got Chris and Nikki Cotton coming to us as a husband and wife team. It's going to be our love call. How to do business from two fabulous 100 Club members. Amelia says to everybody, thank you. You guys are the best. Thanks for joining us tonight. See you next Monday night. Peace and blessings. Love you guys. Have a great week.